My Story is presented by Good Neighbor Pharmacy, Island Cancer Center of Guam, and Pacific Cancer Care Alliance. With special thanks to Inflatable Island, the Pacific Star Resort and Spa, Tresemme distributed by Cosmos, Local Promos, Lab Tech, Procreate, Tobacco Free Guam, Simply Food, Maymay's Fruit Fry Ice, and Calib Cakery.
Half a day. I'm Louise Muña, and welcome to another episode of My Story. We will talk with two cancer warriors and survivors, as we normally do. However, we will talk with two children that have been diagnosed with cancer at such a tender age. Their parents will also discuss with us their treatment plans, how they found out, and more. The Guam Cancer Facts and Figures report cites that American Cancer Society shows the types of cancers that develop in children are often different from the types that develop in adults. Leukemia, brain and central nervous cancers, and lymphomas are among the most common types of childhood cancer. Here on Guam, there were 11 cases of cancer diagnosed in children below the age of 15 from 2008 to 2012. Nearly half were leukemia, 1/4 were cancers of the brain, and the remaining were lymphomas. During that same period, there were 6 cancer deaths among children under the age of 15. The facts are shocking. Later, Guam Cancer Care will stop by and discuss with us their Kids for the Cure program, which was just implemented last school year to educate elementary school students about the benefits of eating healthy and staying active to help prevent cancer. It is sure to be a touching episode, so stay tuned to this 1-hour episode of My Story. Welcome back to My Story. In a little bit, we'll meet the cute little Braden, but for now, we'll talk with Simi Manley. We have her in Inflatable Island here today. Hi, Simi, how are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm fine.
This is a special episode about kids, and we saw your journey with your grandson. Braden is your grandson. He is your grandson to
my daughter, Melanie.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
I have 5 children.
5. Okay. And Melanie is the oldest?
She's the 4th oldest.
4th oldest. Okay. So Melanie had Braden at a pretty young age.
She had Braden when she was about maybe 20. Yeah.
20?
Yeah.
And so you've kind of raised Braden as well too, right?
Yes. He's actually like my baby.
Is he?
Yes.
When was he born?
He was born on December 31st.
Wow, he's a New Year's Eve baby.
Yes, he is.
2010.
2010.
So that would make him how old now?
4.
He's 4.
Yes.
He's had a long journey in such a short time.
Yes.
He was diagnosed with cancer when?
He was actually diagnosed on July 18 of 2014 with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Acute lymphoblastic
leukemia.
Is that a cancer of the
blood?
Blood?
Yes.
How old was he when he was diagnosed?
He was diagnosed at 3 years.
3, wow. So that hasn't been that long ago.
No.
No? Has it been a pretty rough journey?
It has been, especially when we first found out that he was diagnosed with leukemia. And with me, because I used to work with like patient coordination, I've always read, I've always met with members or people of the community that had cancer, leukemia, but when it touched home, it was even...
No, I couldn't even imagine.
It was really gut-wrenching.
You're in the medical industry.
Yes.
So let's rewind back to when Braden was 3. What led you to be concerned, you or Melanie, to be concerned about Braden's health?
Well, in 2014, around March, he was always getting fevers, and
but that's common though for kids.
Yes, and he's asthmatic, so he was constantly going to the clinic.
Okay.
And his fever was always it was always getting it, and his fever would be 102. So they would always just treat it, just give him Tylenol, Motrin, and it'll help for a while, but it kept going every month.
He kept having a fever every month?
Yes, it started to become more recurrent, and then there were times when my husband and Albert and I would be looking at him, and he'll look so pale, like a ghost, you know, like really white. And I was telling my daughter, Lonnie, I said, when you go back to the clinic, make sure you have them, you know, at least test his blood, you know. But every time she went, it's like, oh, it's just a common cold. There's a virus going around. So we didn't.
And they're, you know, they probably weren't saying that because, you know, I mean, because it does. Common colds, viruses do go around all the time. So it could be that maybe he's just catching it, or.
And my concern with him when I started to get a little bit more alarmed was I started to, especially after he brushes his teeth, he would have this like smell in his mouth. I'm like, that's not normal, you know?
Really?
Yes. Because,
wow.
Yeah, he had this, like, it was really, really a bad smell.
Was it sour? Like,
it was really, I would say, almost like, you know how, like, when you use the bathroom, like that kind of smell.
Wow.
And it's just like right after he brushes his teeth, I'm like, when you take him back, please tell the doctor that now his breath is starting to have some sort of
sense.
Yes, it's not normal. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. So when she told the doctor that, was this when they said, okay, let's do some more tests?
Yes, they did an ultrasound. They found out he was like fecal impacted, I guess because he was constipated. And so they told her to just, you know, give him a high fiber diet, you know, but it's still, for me, it's like, no, there's something more.
Right.
And so...
You weren't satisfied with any of those diagnoses?
No. And so my husband and I, we went to the Philippines in June, and then she was calling us, you know, and she's like, Mommy, he still has a fever. I'm like, bring him to the clinic. Have them run all the tests, complete blood work. And when they did that, that's when they found out that he was actually anemic.
Anemic?
Yes. And
you would never imagine that he's running around.
No, because that's the thing. And when we saw his, and his doctor was Dr. Stadler, and he was actually out on leave at the time. So when he came back, Dr. Stadler was like, you wouldn't have known if he was like, you know, had that type of sickness, only because he didn't show any of the other symptoms. Like he wasn't fatigued or lethargic.
He's very active.
All the time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Throughout his whole journey, he's always been very active.
So that was in March 2014.
June is when they did all the testing, like late June.
Okay.
And then in July, first week of July, they sent all his labs. Already when I knew they were going to send his labs to Hawaii pathology, even just the word pathology alone, right? You already like, okay, this is, you have to prepare, you have to start preparing for the worst.
Did you think? What did you think it was?
I already had a feeling he had some kind of leukemia, only because when his first initial blood works were coming back, it showed in his blood work.
Wow.
So it just like, it's, you know, his red blood cells, his white blood cells, everything was low, it's high. It didn't like, you know, they weren't healthy cells. Yes.
So they sent the test, and then they came back.
He was admitted to GMH on July 14th.
He was still only 3.
He was only 3. So they admitted him on July 14th because they wanted to do a blood transfusion on him.
Wow.
And so Dr. Stadler, you know, he's like, we'll go ahead and admit him. So they admitted him, they took cultures, they sent it to Hawaii pathology. And then on the 17th, Dr. Stadler wanted him to be released only because he didn't have an immune system. And, you know, he was more susceptible to getting some sort of sickness at the hospital versus him being at home. And they wanted us to fly him out, you know, like to, you know, for further evaluation. because Guam doesn't have like a pediatrics.
I was going to say, we don't really have a facility for kids with cancer. So now, so when he was diagnosed, did they call you all into the room and say?
I was at work. I was on the 18th, and my daughter had an appointment with Dr. Stadler and Braden, and it was on July 18th. So when I come into work and I open my email, I see an email from Dr. Stadler advising that Grandma and Grandpa should come into the office to the clinic. I already knew. It's like, it was like trying to gather yourself, because he's only a baby, for me, in my eyes, he's still a baby, even if he's 4.
He's born, he learns how to drink from the bottle or the breast, he learns how to walk, and now all of a sudden, he has cancer.
Yes.
And so do you have to take him off island
every month? He goes out for chemotherapy treatment. I think he gets a spinal injection, I believe, every 2 to 3 months.
In the Philippines?
Yes.
So you take him out to the Philippines?
Every month he flies out.
Is that covered by insurance?
The insurance will take care because his pediatric oncologist, my daughter Milani had take care insurance.
Okay.
But the new insurance now, Netcare, they don't have Dr. Racho on their network. And so we decided to go ahead and keep Dr. Racho being Braden's primary oncologist for him, only because he's doing so well in the treatment. And, I've seen from where if you change another oncologist, they have different types of treatment, and we don't know if that's going to work. So
you're already comfortable with it and you know it works,
yes.
So you're going to stick with it.
So whether we pay professional fees out of pocket, as long as he gets the treatment.
There's no price you can put.
No,
there's
no
price you can put. He's 4.
He's 4.
He goes to school?
Yes, he does.
Okay, where does he go?
He goes to Santa Barbara.
Pre-K?
Pre-K.
I can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to meet him and talk to him. Obviously, he's very excited to be here today here at Inflatable Island. So we will talk to him in just a little bit. And I wanted to get your insight. And then, of course, if you can stay here with us and maybe kind of help us conduct the interview with Braden. Would that be okay?
That'll be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing the grandma side of the story.
Yes.
I'm sure it's not any less than being an actual parent.
No, because I've seen all her challenges, and so with them being close to us at home, we have to give her that support.
Right. I can't even imagine. Thank you very much for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
Stick around. We'll talk to Braden. Okay?
Yes.
Welcome back to my story. Let me introduce you to the cutest 4-year-old boy ever, Braden. Hi, Braden. Hi. How are you? Hi, Braden. How old are you?
How old are you, baby?
He's not very happy, right? Because we pulled him out of Inflatable Island. He's like, oh, I want to just go and play. Are you 4? You are? How many fingers is that? Is that this many? No? This many? This many? This many. You're 4. Wow. So this is a cute necklace. Who gave that to you?
Grandma, Papa.
Grandma and Papa. Is this your grandma here? Yeah? And where's your Papa at? Right? Do you love Papa and Grandma? Yeah? How often do you spend time with them? All the time? All the time? Did you go to school? What school do you go to?
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. Wow. What grade are you?
K4.
K4. Who's your teacher?
Teacher Lynn.
Teacher who?
Teacher Lynn.
Lynn? Teacher Lynn. Is she a good teacher? Oh, phew, I'm glad he said that. All right, so say hi to Teacher Lynn. Hi, Teacher Lynn. Do you have your favorite classmates? You do? Braden, do you know that you're sick? Do you know that you're sick? You do? You do? He doesn't like to talk about it, does he?
Well, when you ask him if he's sick, he'll come out and tell you he's not
He's
sick.
not.
Yes.
Because he doesn't feel like it, right? You like to play, right? What is your favorite toy in the whole entire world? Airplanes?
You like airplanes?
No.
What do you like?
He has to travel once a month.
Yes.
So when he gets on an airplane, does he feel like he's going to go and get something done for his sickness?
Yes, he knows.
You know? So do you have this favorite thing you like to take on the airplane when you go? What is that?
Philippines.
The Philippines is where you go. Wow. Do you have any friends in the Philippines? No.
Who's your favorite nurse? Who's your favorite nurse? Nurse Sophia? No?
He normally sees the same people when he goes out there.
The same team? Yes.
Once a month, that's a lot.
Yes.
So I'm sure he already knows already. Is it like it's that time to go again?
Yes.
Yeah. He's so young, 4 years old. I mean, I could imagine that he just wants to play all day from the time he wakes up until the time he goes to sleep, right? So do they have a playroom there in the Philippines that he gets a chance to?
Well, when he's done with treatment, his outpatient chemo, Lonnie takes him to Market.
Oh,
Because there's a place there. What's the name of the
yeah,
place?
all of a sudden, Market.
What's up, Market?
Kaizo.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
So what do you do when you go to Market?
Go play.
You go play. That's a fun part of the Philippines, right?
Time zone.
Does it ever hurt you when you go to the hospital at the Philippines? Do you feel hurt? You do? No? He has a port.
Yes.
Where's his port at?
Where's your port, baby?
It's here?
Yes.
So, and that's how they administer the chemotherapy?
Yes.
And that happens once a month?
Every month he goes out, there's a needle that they insert. Yes.
Does that port hurt? No? It doesn't hurt at all? How about when they put the needle in there? Does it hurt? No? Because you're a strong boy, right? Let me see your muscles. You got muscles? Let me see. Where? Ooh, he's like...
Let me see
is
your
it here?
muscle.
Woo, look at that. Oh my gosh, you are strong. Wow. That's good muscles. So what are you going to be for Halloween?
Superman.
I love Superman. Can you say hi to him? Oh wait, you're going to be Superman. Can you say hi to Superman for me? Yeah. Can I be Wonder Woman? Yeah, okay. All right. Look at that. Oh, you're going to be the best, cutest Superman ever, okay? You're going to be our hero, okay? Simi, do you have any advice you'd like to give to parents, who have children who have leukemia?
My only advice for parents when they're bringing in their children to get treated for it, because initially we thought it was just a common cold, a virus, but for me as his grandmother, I would recommend that they have their pediatric doctor do a complete blood count on the child. If they say that it's just a common cold and it's something that's it's getting more recurrent, like a high fever, constipation, go farther than that. Have them really test them for everything, do a complete physical.
You know your child more than anybody else does, and if you recognize signs,
Yes.
be concerned.
Yes.
Be concerned. Thank you so much, Braden. Can you give me a high five? Oh man, you ready to play again? Okay, all right. Well, you go play, okay? Thank you very much for talking with us. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Welcome back to this 1-hour episode of My Story. Thank you once again to Inflatable Island for allowing us to utilize this fun place, especially for the kids. In a little bit, we'll meet Taylor, but right now we have Taylor's mom, Jennifer Cruz, or Nurse Jen. You're a nurse.
Yes.
How long have you been a nurse?
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, of course, your husband is
A doctor.
Dr. Mike Cruz, or former Lieutenant Governor. So you're both in the medical industry.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
Altogether, there's 6 of them.
All together.
All together.
Oh, it's
3 boys,
it's a
3
Brady
girls.
Bunch.
Yes, it is.
The Brady Bunch. Okay, so wow, so that's 6 altogether.
6 kids.
Taylor is your child who is diagnosed with cancer. How old is she?
She just turned 7 on October 5th. Yeah.
Is she the middle child, or is she
No, she's like the bottom half.
second to the
youngest.
Second to the youngest. Wow. So you had altogether 6 kids,
6
right?
kids.
So you had 4 kids, and you had this opportunity. Oh, we're raising children. This is a great life. And then Taylor was diagnosed. So let's rewind a little bit before her diagnosis. How old was she when she was diagnosed?
She was diagnosed at 2.
2.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
What made you concerned? I mean,
Actually, with Taylor, she was actually born with it.
really?
Yes. Her cancer was very obvious. It was sticking out of her butt, the crease of her butt.
What is her cancer? What was
It's
she
called a
diagnosed?
germ cell tumor. It's kind of a rare childhood cancer. It's normally found when you do find out. It's normally like in late stages because it's more internal. You normally find that kind of cancer in the ovaries and the testes. So luckily for us, her cancer was external, which we saw. But we didn't think it was cancer.
You did automatically.
No, we did not.
Didn't.
We did not. Believe it or not, although we're medical professionals, it was Nana, my mother, that was like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with her. We weren't in a hurry. We're just like, oh, it's just a little cyst. We'll take it out whenever we get a chance. So after my husband got out of office, we said, okay, let's get this taken care of. She's getting old enough. We're going to potty train her. We didn't want her to know about it because, it's
Right.
the issues with kids, right? So we took her and we had it removed, and we just talked to the doctor.
2.
She was 2 years old, and Mike and I were just like, okay, Christmas is coming up. Okay, we'll see you later. Just call us. We didn't wait for the pathology report. We just said, okay, let's go home. Let's go have holidays with our family. And we were wondering, like, what's the holdup? How come the doctor hasn't called us? And Mike got an email from Taylor's doctor saying, I'm sorry, but your daughter has cancer.
Oh my goodness.
And it was an email, so it wasn't a phone call. So just imagine right after the New Year's receiving an email from a doctor saying your kid has cancer, you need to come back. And we weren't gone more than 2 weeks. We just literally came back, to celebrate the holidays.
You had this done where?
Children's Hospital, Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And so you were back on Guam when Mike read the email? You were here on Guam when
we were here, yes.
When he
we
got
were
the
here.
email that
we didn't wait because normally, when they do pathology, it takes about a week to get the results. But we were so confident, like, oh, it's okay, no big deal. It's just one of those benign cysts kind of things. So
because who would think she's only 2?
Yeah.
Right.
And Mike being a doctor, and even her own doctor didn't think it was cancer. So we just said, okay, just call us. We'll be home. We're going home.
How did Mike share that email with you?
He just sat on his computer and said she has cancer, and of course I'm like crying. He was just kind of like soaking it all in.
Maybe he was in shock.
We both were, but he deals with things differently, and I'm more emotional. I cry.
Yeah, well,
so
you're
I
a
sit
mom.
there and I cry.
We can't,
I'm like,
don't worry.
Is my daughter gonna die?
Right.
And it's just.
Did you ever feel like when you found out that something that you could have addressed since she was born?
Yeah, you guilt sets in.
Did it set in?
Oh, yes, definitely, because like I said, it was my mother that kept insisting. She said, there's something wrong. And at one point, Mike's like, I'm the doctor. Tell your mother I'm the doctor. But, moms, grandmas know best, and she kept insisting, Jennifer, it's getting bigger. This is not right. You guys need to take a look at this. And, so, yeah, when we did, we kind of felt guilty.
So she was 2.
Yeah.
Did she just turn 2?
Yes, she did. She just turned 2.
When was she born? What date?
October 5th.
October.
Yeah, so when we went...
She just celebrated a birthday.
She did.
Oh my goodness.
She's 7 now.
Okay. So she, she just turned 2. And then what happened after she found out? You guys found out she was
right
diagnosed?
when we got the email, we just bought our tickets and took off. We just went back there.
Wow.
We told them we'll be there within the week, so we did, and we started her chemotherapy right away. So
What was her cancer diagnosis? What type of cancer was
it's called
it?
germ cell. Germ cell
cancer.
tumor.
And you said it's very rare?
It's a rare type of cancer. It's not the typical. Normally, childhood cancers are normally like leukemia, brain tumors, that kind of thing. But hers it's a rare type of cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine what it's like. So how was the journey when you were there in...
we had to make major decisions. Of course, we couldn't both stay there. Somebody had to go home and work. I was more of the, we'll go home, we'll just fly back home and then come back for every treatment. And, Mike said, Jennifer, you can't do that. She's going to be too sick. And it's not like going to the Philippines just 3 hours away. We're talking California.
Right.
And, exposing her to all kinds of people and, she'll get sick. So he says, somebody has to stay. So if you don't want to stay, then I'll stay with her, you go back home and work. And that's when reality set in. I said, wait a minute, I'm her mother, I need to stay with her. Yeah, so.
Do you ever feel, though, because now you're going to devote your entire life to Taylor, and you have other kids. How were you able to manage that emotionally,
Well, I had my daughter Isabella 2 years ago, and of course, that was my greatest fear, is like, is she going to have cancer too? So, I was like, I want her to get her whole body scanned. The doctor at Naval Hospital was like, are you crazy? I was like, I just want to make sure my daughter doesn't have the same cancer. And he's like, no, it just happened by chance. You don't have to do that.
And like they said, it's very rare.
Yes.
Do you ever wonder, wow, why Taylor?
Yes,
Do you ever think about that?
Yes. And things happen for a reason. And I believe God is, no matter what, He gives you all these different obstacles in life, and you just got to deal with it and accept it. And that was the hardest part, was accepting it. Why her? Right. She's too young. Yeah. But luckily for us, we found it. It was early. It's very early. So,
what was her treatment? Did she have to have a surgery?
She had chemotherapy. Oh, she had the surgery.
Okay.
That's how they found out she had the cancer. They took out the cancer, and then we came back, and she had 4 cycles of chemotherapy.
Wow, 4 cycles.
Yes.
How did that affect her?
She lost her hair, but she was a trooper.
She lost her hair.
She lost her hair after the first cycle.
Bother her at all?
It bothered me more than it did her, because she was too young. I told her when her hair started falling out, I had her haircut, and she liked Dora at the time. So I told her she looked like Dora.
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So she was like, and then her hair just fell off. So she was okay with it. It was more of me feeling,
Did she ever lose her active?
No,
because she still seems very
Braden's
active.
grandfather and I were just talking about it, because he's like, my grandson was so sick, and I said, so was my daughter, but you know what? She would run around, and I would follow her around with a pan, because she'd just throw up. She'd be like running, and then she'll just throw up, and then go on with her thing. Not like us. We're like, I am so sick.
Yeah.
No, not Taylor.
Kids are amazing.
They are.
They're amazing. They're so. Look at them.
She never complained of pain. I had so much painkillers. It's nothing. No pain. No, not even for the nausea. She never took anything.
Did you ever find yourself wanting to break down, but feeling like you just couldn't?
I did. I actually did. And that was when Mike went home after her chemotherapy. And I had to go back every week to bring her for her labs. And this is after her first cycle. Mike had to go home. I remember sitting in the playroom just crying, because I was, thinking to myself, I didn't know what's, the uncertainty, I didn't know what was going to happen to my daughter. It's
And even being a nurse, it was still very uncertain.
It was so different being on the flip side, on the other end. Being a nurse for 20 years, you become so numb to these things.
Right.
You feel bad for these things, but you see it all the time. Right. But when it's affecting you, it's so different.
How has this affected your family as a whole?
Well, because Mike and I are both healthcare professionals. It was just so different being on the other end. And Mike's just a much stronger person than I am. I cry at everything.
Really?
I mean, I cried looking at other kids. I cried the whole time.
And you're allowed to because you're a mom.
Yeah, but yeah, it was
Obviously,
just,
Taylor is a bond like for the whole entire family.
She's a tough girl. And you ask her, she's just like, I have cancer. I'm like, Taylor.
So we will talk with Taylor in just a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm
she's-
looking forward to meeting her, and maybe you can sit with her if you'd like. She's making all the noise now. Yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh yeah, she was looking. I was like, "You gonna get anything?" She's like, "Oh, again, mommy."
Right.
I was like, "Oh,
She's a star in her own right.
she-
Okay, so we'll meet her in just a little bit. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and of course you can sit here when we bring Taylor back out.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome back to my story. Right now we talk to the cutest 7-year-old girl ever and very active. Look at her smile. Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
Hi. You're not shy, are you?
Kind of.
Kind of. How old are you?
7.
7. So when is your birthday?
October 5th.
You just had a birthday. What did you do for your birthday?
Shopping with my nana.
Is that your favorite thing to do? It is? So you have germ cell cancer. Do you know much about it? No? Do you care? Nah, it's not important, right? What are some of the most important things to you as a 7-year-old?
My friends and dancing.
And dancing, really? Okay, so you want to say hi to any of your friends?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Join Tana.
Okay, just 2? Okay, and then dancing, what do you like to do? What kind of dancing do you do?
Hip hop and jazz.
Hip hop, like as in like that. So are you with a dance group?
Yes.
You are. Which one?
Skip.
Skip. That's a very good dance group. Makes you very active. Do you get tired?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Really? So you want to say hi to your dance instructor?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi.
That's it. Oh, that's all. Wow. So is that what you want to be when you grow up? A dancer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Slash doctor.
Slash doctor. Which one's more important?
Doctor.
Doctor first and then a dancer. A dancing doctor. That would be fun. You could dance your way into the patient's room. I'm sure they would like that, right? Do you know what kind of doctor you want to be?
Surgeon.
A surgeon. Oh, you have to be very smart. You have to be really good in school. Do you go to school now? What school?
St. Anthony.
St. Anthony. What grade are you?
Second.
Second. Do any of your friends or even your teacher, do they know that you have cancer?
Some of my friends and my teacher.
Do they treat you any different?
No.
No? You don't want them to, right? No? You're just a normal girl, aren't you? Okay. So you're in the... You were a wish kid. You had a wish granted to you, weren't you? What wish was that?
I wanted to go to Disneyland. Disney World.
Disney World, not the land, the world. Wow, so how was that? You just came back, didn't you?
It was fun.
It was fun. Were you a princess?
Yes.
You were? How long were you in Disney World?
3 days? 3 days.
3 days. That's a lot of walking around. Did you get tired? Yeah.
It was really hot.
How does it feel to be a wish kid?
Fun?
Fun? Do you want to say hello to the Make-A-Wish people?
Hi.
Oh, see, that's... So would you recommend other kids be a wish kid too as well? Yeah. What made you choose Disney World?
Every day I saw it on TV, so I wanted to go to Disney World.
So you went to Disney World. Do you have bigger dreams now? How about we wish to cure cancer from all kids? How about that? Yeah?
Yes.
That way you can take care of all of the kids then. Yeah. Thank you very much for talking with us. Do you want to say hi to anybody else? No? Any of your other brothers or sisters? Grandma, grandpas?
Yes, hello.
That's it, just in general. Taylor, you're so cute. Thank you for talking with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
High five? Awesome.
Yes.
Hafaday, I am Karina Quito, and I am the Program Manager of the Public Outreach and Education Program at Guam Cancer Care. Our primary mission at Guam Cancer Care is to bridge the gaps in services that our local cancer patients face. We provide support and services to local cancer patients on many levels, but we also provide preventative education to our island's youth through our Kids for the Cure program, or K4C. The mission of K4C is to improve the quality of life of our island's youth by teaching them the different things they can do daily that will help prevent cancer. The program is in its 4th year and has been implemented within our public schools. This past school year, the program was completed in 6 public schools, reaching 85 classes and over 2,000 elementary students. To date, we've had over 4,200 student participants. The program is comprised of 2 components. First, a cancer education curriculum created by Cure for Kids, which was created by the outreach program of the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. It includes lessons about cells, cancer, and healthy life choices that reduce the risk of cancer and other non-communicable diseases. This curriculum is implemented worldwide, but what makes our Kids for the Cure very unique is the second component, which is a physical fitness program. It was created by Donna Baker, the founder of the Strides for the Cure Foundation, because to her, it wasn't enough for the kids to just learn about cancer and cancer prevention. It was important to incorporate physical fitness activities into the program to get the kids moving, exercising, and having fun. Fitness assessments are conducted at the beginning and conclusion of the program and include push-ups, sit-ups, air squats, 100-meter dash, and jump rope activities. This segment is administered by our K4C coaches from Custom Fitness. Our K4C coaches are wonderful. They visit the participating schools weekly throughout the duration of the program, and they work with each class on the different fitness assessments as well as other fitness activities. They're a huge part of the success of this program, and they ensure that the activities are conducted in an educational and fun way.
Having the Kids for the Cure program at my school was such a wonderful experience. The materials and support provided by Mrs. Quito and everyone who is involved with Kids for the Cure was awesome. The curriculum provided supported our standards for the grade level that I taught. Everything was given to us, such as books for the kids to read and a DVD to support the lesson being taught. There were worksheets that the students did after each lesson. There were pre-tests to see what the students knew about the material before it was taught, and then a post-test was given afterwards to see if the students retained the information that was taught to them. What I loved about the curriculum was that it was easy for my students to understand. It was very kid-friendly. Another aspect that I loved about Kids for the Cure is that they provided coaches for classes participating in the program. The students were so excited when the coaches came to do sessions with them.
Hi, my name is Brian Romero. I'm one of the coaches for the Kids for the Cure program as well as Custom Fitness. As a coach, I try to instill standards at my gym into this program as well. The first would be making sure all these kids move properly and perform all these movements in a safe manner. Next would be making sure they implement it properly as well. And lastly would be making sure that all these kids have fun while doing so. I enjoy all my opportunities to work with all these kids. It's a great experience to come in and really help our island's youth. From all of us here at Custom Fitness, I'd like to thank Guam Cancer Care for allowing us to be part of the Kids for the Cure program. We look forward to working with you to raise awareness and increase cancer prevention throughout the island for our youth.
Having the Kids for the Cure program at my school made my students and myself more aware of the benefits of a healthy living. Having my father being diagnosed with colon cancer a few years back made me more appreciative of the program. I love how the program is providing awareness of this disease. Kids for the Cure is just an awesome program, and I hope that they come back to Attica Elementary every year.
As a community, we need to instill healthier lifestyle habits onto our children, and it starts with education. The K4C program is one of our outreach efforts that can make that impact onto them by providing them with the learning tools and information about cancer and the many benefits of living a healthier lifestyle. Our hope is that they'll not only develop healthy habits and take them into their adolescent and adult years, but also influence others to do the same. To find out more about the Kids for the Cure program, contact Guam Cancer Care at 969-2223 or log on to our website at guamcancercare.org.
Thank you for watching. Before we close out the show, a big thank you goes out to Guam Cancer Care and sharing with us their efforts in the Kids for the Cure program to help prevent cancer. And an even bigger thank you to Braden and Taylor and their families for sharing their story with us. We'd like to invite you to share your cancer story right here on My Story. Just email share@spbguam.com. Again, thank you for watching My Story. Until next time, adios.